Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic World Dominion video, where today we're discussing Jurassic World Dominion once more, but more specifically, we'll be taking a look at the final battle of this movie after it seems to sway in a 50-50 controversy online whether to like it or not, and I haven't really covered it that much on the channel. So if you're excited for today's video, be sure to press that like button and don't forget to also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, if you wish to learn more about the Jurassic franchise and also stay up to date regarding all of the information from this franchise. As I can promise, this is the best place to be for just that on YouTube. We've been covering Jurassic for plenty of years now, and 2023 will be no different, as we prepare for the upcoming Jurassic Park 30th anniversary event that will be taking place in June. More and more videos will come by, and hopefully a lot more, as we are all hoping for an announcement of the new animated series or possibly even movies that are up and coming in 2024 or 2025. So we've hopefully got a lot of news to cover as we get closer to the summer. But for today, here's my analysis on whether or not Jurassic World Dominion's final battle was bad. Jurassic World Dominion finalised its place in the Jurassic franchise as the third favourite movie amongst the fans. No matter the annoying, "Oh, I thought Dominion was bad, how dare people disagree with me and put my opinion as the minority opinion" comments that I get. There's still an overwhelming majority of comments I receive daily that are in favour for Jurassic World Dominion being a good movie. After all, it is officially rated as a good movie, standing at the 77% mark, just 1% lower than 2015's Jurassic World. But was the final battle of this movie bad? One thing that many people can agree on, whether you enjoyed the movie or not, is that the final battle may have been slightly underwhelming. For me, I did enjoy it when I first watched the movie, and it kept me on the edge of my seat wondering what was going to happen. I made myself believe that the Giganotosaurus was going to follow through and show up as a powerhouse in future movies of Jurassic. And I also thought that this could be the movie where we last see Rexy on the big screen. So initially, I wasn't sure where the battle was going to go, and I was hooked from the very start. So, I guess there was an argument to be made here that the final battle was actually really good and enjoyable. But I use the word "was" simply because it's how I felt when I first saw the movie. I obviously wasn't looking at it from a critical standpoint. I was more focused on what would happen initially and how they'll twist and create a new story from this one final battle. So let's start comparing and looking at this fight critically. The first final battle of the Jurassic franchise took place in Jurassic Park, way back in 1993, involving a Tyrannosaurus Rex and two Velociraptors. We all know how that ended, and to be honest, I don't see it as much of a final battle. It was never set up to be a final battle, but instead, it was merely set up so that it would be a saviour surprise moment right at the end of the movie for our heroes to be able to get away, whilst the audience can still enjoy dinosaurs being eaten and attacked by dinosaurs. So, Jurassic Park's final battle didn't initially come across as a good final battle per se, but it did have significance and meaning behind it. The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 didn't at all have any final battles, so our next one would be easily the best of the franchise, Jurassic World's. Jurassic World's final battle was filled with action upon action upon action, and it did not disappoint. From the fight, we see the Raptor squad get killed off. Then we also see Rexy fight to what we could only imagine would have been to her death if it wasn't for Blue running to avenge her fallen sisters to distract the Indominus Rex from killing Rexy. Stalling the Indominus, this gave enough time for Rexy to get back to her feet and take on the Indominus Rex once more. This time, she knocked the Indominus into the railing of the Mosasaurus pit, and then, I think we all know what happened next. And up next, in the chronological time order of this franchise, the next final battle would come from Camp Cretaceous, where we see two Tyrannosauruses square up together to fight off the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. This, again, wasn't much more of a fight, as the Rexes gave an arse whipping to the Spinosaurus, who earlier in the season almost ended up killing Big E.T. This final battle, should it even be considered one, wasn't exactly the greatest from the outside perspective, as it basically just had two Tyrannosaurus Rexes running into the Spinosaurus, a couple of bites here and there, and then knocks the Spinosaurus over for him to run back into the wilderness of Manta Island. So there's not much to it, but yet again, there's meaning to this battle. We saw the Rexes take on the Spinosaurus once more after they lost the earlier battle in the season, and not to mention, we finally got a canonical on-screen rematch to what we saw in Jurassic Park 3 way back in 2001. Finally, we arrive at Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom's final battle, where, yet again, it wasn't much of a final battle. It was kind of a continuation of a fight that we saw Blue and the Indoraptor competing within Maisie's bedroom. If we were to include that fight into the final battle, I guess the battle itself was pretty cool, although we didn't see much of it as the camera was more focused on Owen and Maisie escaping. But the true final battle didn't last long at all. It merely had Blue jumping onto the Indoraptor, causing him to be impaled by the Ajujuceratops skeleton inside of the manor. And that was sadly about it. So, with that information of the previous final battles, was Jurassic World Dominion's final battle really that bad? The short answer is no, and I'll explain to you why. Jurassic World Dominion was a pretty solid movie, and it had next to no plot holes, as well as answering a lot of questions from the franchise. But what it also did give was a lot of connectivity to literally everything from the franchise. It connected the original trilogy, the new trilogy, and even the recent Netflix series Camp Cretaceous. So, with that in mind, what meaning and connectivity do we have for Dominion's final battle? Well, as I covered in my previous videos a few months ago, we see the Therizinosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the Giganotosaurus square up in a Mexican standoff. What some people may not realise here is that these three animals are three of the four main genomes that were used to make up the DNA sequence of the Indominus Rex that we see in Jurassic World. So, the battle already had a hidden meaning and connection to the start of the new trilogy in Jurassic World, which already makes it come across as more of a thought out and enjoyable battle. Next up, this final battle was set up from the start of the movie itself. As we know from the prologue short film, also the introduction of the extended edition, the Tyrannosaurus and the Giganotosaurus faced off in the late Cretaceous era. Now, before I get comments saying, boo, this isn't accurate at all, this ruins absolutely everything, and shit like that, let me remind you that this is a movie and it's an alternate movie universe. This allows history to be completely rewritten for creative purposes, and it's literally as simple as that. Either way, these guys faced off and we soon find out that the Rex that died is the ancestor of Rexy, who we see in Jurassic World Dominion. So again, there's more to it when you look at the bigger picture of the fight. It was a rematch written in the timeline. As for the action, the scene was very well put together. The cinematography and camera work was next to perfect throughout this entire battle, and the CGI was some of the best that we saw throughout Dominion. In this battle, we can also see neat little details, such as the Giganotosaurus biting off the Therizinosaurus's claw, the Therizinosaurus holding his claws up in a defensive manner since we know it was blind, and then a snippet of Rexy's instincts getting to her to rise up once more to face off with the Giganotosaurus to avenge her fallen descendant. So, the attention to detail was pretty nice throughout all of this fight. Now, when we discuss length, it's actually a decently long fight. Comparing it to the rest of the franchise, I believe that this could actually be the second longest battle, or final battle shall I say, that we see from the entire saga. The longest final battle obviously being Jurassic World's. So, whilst it may feel short and underwhelming at times, it's actually one of the longest from the franchise. I don't know what that says, maybe we should be getting more final battles, or maybe we should give final battles a little bit of a rest. But since it was one of the longest battles, it gave it more hype and excitement as it leaves time open for absolutely anything to happen. Especially when I first watched the movie, it felt like the fight was going on for so long, but the second time around, it felt like the fight wasn't long at all. So, in conclusion, was the final battle of Jurassic World Dominion bad or underwhelming? Well, to me, given the facts we discussed in the video, I don't actually think that this final battle was at all bad. Now, I can 100% see why some people dislike it and find it underwhelming, but once we take a look at the positives a little bit more, it holds up pretty well as one of the best in the franchise, with connectivity, duration, and excitement. Now, it was sad that the Giganotosaurus just kind of got killed off like that. Bro was caught lacking, not realising he was facing off with two massive fuck-off super predators in front of him. But he also didn't do much throughout the movie either. So it was for sure a huge disappointment for the Giganotosaurus just to die off. And that's unfortunately a downside we can't ignore. But even with that included, the final battle was reasonably a good one. Not the best, but far from being the worst. It had enough details and meaning to it to enjoy it as well as a good amount of action. I'm curious to see what you guys think though. So feel free to let me know in the comments your thoughts about this final battle, and let me know if I managed to change any of your opinions regarding this final battle after what was discussed in the video. But for the time being, be sure to press that like button if you enjoyed, and don't forget to also subscribe to the channel as we aim for 225,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. Thank you all so much for watching, make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.